Hello and welcome to the program. I'm your host, Neil Howard, here on Health Professional Radio. Thank you so much for joining us for another segment. In upcoming months, the FDA is expected to finalize its proposed rule to make certain hearing aids available over the counter. Now, this is going to allow consumers to buy hearing aids without the supervision of a medical professional. Well, Kate Carr, president of the Hearing Industries Association, and Dr. Thomas Powers are joining us to talk about this upcoming change, what it means for hearing health, and what we need to know about hearing loss and treatment. Welcome to Health Professional Radio, both Dr. Thomas and Kate Carr. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Kate, would you give us a bit of your professional background and talk briefly about your role there as president of the Hearing Industries Association?
I have spent a number of years working in politics and government, and the last 20 plus years of my career working in not-for-profits, many of them health-related. And I joined the Hearing Industries Association 4 years ago to help tackle an issue that is largely ignored in the United States, where we have 48 million people or more with some degree of hearing loss.
And Dr. Powers, if you would give us a look into your professional background.
Sure. My background is an audiology PhD from Ohio University. I worked in an audiology private practice in West Virginia for a number of years, and then moved into the hearing industry and worked for Siemens, which is a hearing division. And about 4 years ago, I decided to semi-retire and slow down a bit, and started a consulting company that I'm working in now.
I heard Kate mention many people are dealing with hearing loss. If we live long enough, are we guaranteed to suffer some hearing loss?
It's not a guarantee, Neil, but hearing loss is definitely associated with age. And if you're 75 and older, every other person has a hearing loss. If you're 65 and older, it's 1 in 3. So this is a condition that we might expect, and we certainly should check to see if we are one of those persons with a hearing loss.
Doctor, how accessible are hearing aids actually? We see the commercials, we get the letters in the mail, but are they readily available and to those who are suffering or think they may be experiencing hearing loss?
Yeah, I believe they are. I mean, we have over 15,000 professionals here in the United States, audiologists, hearing care professionals, ENTs, of course, if you have a medical issue. But there's a number of individual places you can get them. They're also available in some bricks and mortar stores like Costco. But, the first step really is, if you think you have a hearing loss, is to get a hearing test to find out what the degree of loss is. But once that's accomplished, then yes, they're readily available. You need to see a professional today. We may talk a little bit later. Over the counter is sort of on the horizon, but for today, you will need to see a professional and have them do a complete evaluation and then tell you what might be available, or whether you have a medical condition. You might just have earwax in your ear and need to have that cleared out.
So let's say I don't have earwax in my ear and I'm experiencing hearing loss. Is that hearing loss going to progress, or is it going to stop at a certain point and that's going to be all I'm going to be able to hear, or I'm just going to be able to hear at that level, or is it going to get progressively worse? Or does it vary depending on the person and the reason for the loss?
It really does depend. The hearing loss will probably get gradually worse. I think it sort of depends on the onset. If it happens in your 30s and 40s, you may start with a mild hearing loss, but then, as Kate mentioned, the aging process is going to make it get a little bit worse as we get older. That happens. The other piece of it is really environmental impact. If you're working in a factory and around loud noise, if you operate machinery, if you're cutting with a chainsaw, or just listening to loud music through your AirPods or headsets, those can all contribute to additional hearing loss. So once you identify and have a test and know what your hearing loss is, it's kind of important to also take some steps to mitigate, additional hearing loss above and beyond that may happen due to aging.
Kate, as president of the HIA, what are your thoughts on the expected finalization of a rule to make certain hearing aids available over the counter? And when we're talking about certain hearing aids, I mean, what's the difference? If you need to go to the doctor to be tested, I mean, are there, like, for lack of a better term, toy or lesser hearing aids out there as opposed to the really good ones that you get if you're evaluated by a doctor?
That's such a great question, Neil. When OTC products are available, and that's when, and we'll understand exactly what the technical configurations will be. Mm-hmm. We anticipate that there'll be good devices. The real difference is that a person can buy them without seeing a hearing care professional. Now, they're only intended for adults 18 and older, so they're not intended for children. This is not a solution for kids. Kids should see an audiologist, an ENT, a licensed hearing care professional. But when OTC products are available, the other piece is they're intended for people with mild to moderate hearing loss. And people will need to understand whether that is their degree of hearing loss. Most people don't even acknowledge their hearing loss right now. So that's why we still believe that if you are going to purchase them when they're available, the best first step would be to see a hearing care professional and to understand, do you have earwax, something simple to fix that could impact your hearing? Or do you have a more serious issue, medical issue, or a more serious hearing loss where an over-the-counter device isn't going to be appropriate for you? We're in favor of them. We think it's a great idea that it will increase awareness about hearing health and provide a solution that is less expensive for people. But the quality of the devices we expect to be very high.
Doctor, when it comes to testing and the devices that people choose, have we begun to experience a shortage in hearing care professionals as a result of the pandemic, like many other professions? And how invasive is a test in the first place? Is there maybe a fear of going to get tested because if it's too invasive? Is that an issue that you've heard of?
Having a hearing test gives you the confirmation that you actually, have the hearing loss. So I think that's the fear, is that you're actually going to find out that you do have hearing loss. It is a painless procedure. You put on a pair of headphones, you sit in a booth, you listen to some tones. We've all had that test probably when we were kids in school. You repeat back some words. And so it's a relatively easy test to do. And, if you have other issues, maybe you need some other tests if it's a medical issue. But it is a simple and painless process. And it then tells you the degree of loss. In terms of the professionals out there, we certainly are beginning to see a slight decrease in the number of audiologists that are coming out of school in recent years due to a change in the degree that's for audiology. It used to be a master's degree, now it's a clinical doctorate. But we still have a significant number of people that are licensed in the United States to provide hearing aids. We also have hearing aid specialists that typically don't have advanced degrees and can test and fit hearing aids. So there's a wide range of professionals out there that can provide the services that are needed. And the over-the-counter will help with those individuals that do have mild hearing loss and just need a hearing aid for situational wearing, dinner places where they might need a little bit of help because they do have a mild impairment, not somebody with a more significant hearing loss.
Kate, give us a website where we can learn more. And what would you say to those who just aren't going to seek a healthcare professional and going to go it on their own?
You can find lots of information about hearing health, about hearing aid technology, how to find a professional on our website, which is betterhearing.org. And also follow us on Facebook at Better Hearing. For people who are ignoring them, and trust me, I think everybody knows one, and I certainly have a few in my family and a few friends that I know who have ignored their hearing loss. On average, people ignore it for 6 years or more. Don't be afraid to check this out. As Tom pointed out, this is painless. It's also quick. It might take 15 to 30 minutes, and you'll understand something that is significant for your health. And it also might improve the quality of your life if you decide to pursue an option, a solution, a hearing aid, or some type of hearing device.
Well, I appreciate both of you lending us some of your time this morning here on Health Professional Radio. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Neil.
You've been listening to Health Professional Radio. I'm your host, Neil Howard, in conversation with Kate Carr and Dr. Thomas Powers. Audio copies of this program are available at hpr.fm and healthprofessionalradio.com.au. You can also subscribe to the podcast on iTunes. Listen in, download at SoundCloud, and be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com, Health Professional Radio.